Well, the news is here. The day that some of you have probably been waiting for. For some of us, it's a little bit heartbreaking. And for some of us, it's probably extremely heartbreaking. Today, on Tuesday, January 24th, Panic! At the Disco is officially broken up. Now, for me, this was the first band that really got me into the alternative scene. And the first album I ever bought was Pretty Odd. I remember at a Target I went to. I remember initially getting into I Write Sins Not Tragedies because growing up young and listening to them on the radio and stuff, because that was how I found out about music back then, and on MTV with the music videos. And I remember seeing 9 in the Afternoon always pop up on MTV and playing, and they became my favorite band. It was them and Never Shout Never and the Ready Set that were like my top 3 favorite bands growing up. Now, I'll be real with you, I haven't really liked their music since probably Death of a Bachelor. Viva Las Vengeance was not very great. It was sung way too high, and lyrically, I just didn't connect with any of it. The only songs I enjoyed from that album was Viva Las Vengeance and Don't Let the Light Go Out, but some of them were completely miserable, and some of them were just bland, so it was interesting and kind of heartbreaking to hear that. And I wasn't trying to be just that guy that hates Panic! At the Disco. I know a lot of people, don't like Brendan Urie. They think he's a piece of shit and all that stuff. I don't personally fully feel like he's a piece of shit, I'm going to be honest. But I tried to give them a chance with that, and I wasn't going to just shit on it even if I didn't like it. I just was going to either like it or not like it, and I didn't connect with it. I never really came back to that album, and I tried to listen to it multiple times. I just didn't connect with it. Pray for the Wicked, I also didn't really love either, but it was definitely something I enjoyed more. But ever since, Vices and Virtues came out, which was the last album that had Spencer on it, which was the drummer, it always felt like it was becoming Brendan Urie's solo band, which is pretty much what it did become. He did have a live band, which some really talented musicians, but obviously when Ryan left and John left, and for us really OGs, Brent left, who no one really cared about, so that was whatever. And then after Vices and Virtues, Spencer left, and there were some good albums that did come after Vices and Virtues. They weren't exactly what I expected from Panic! At the Disco, and it didn't really feel like a band anymore. I would say Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die did grow on me, and nowadays if I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, this has a lot of good songs on it, so it's definitely a solid album. Not my favorite, but definitely a solid album. And Death of a Bachelor, I think, was pretty solid as well. But I think after Death of a Bachelor, I just really stopped connecting to the music. And even Death of a Bachelor, even though I did enjoy some of the songs, it felt extremely different and odd to hear from Panic! At the Disco. And it kind of became this LA musical showbiz kind of thing. But it wasn't the type of musical that I was into necessarily. Because if you listen to A Fever, You Can't Sweat Out, that's very musical as well. That's very theatrical with, the Moulin Rouge aesthetic. This became more of like I'm fucking Frank Sinatra and Freddie Mercury's baby. Here I am. I do love those artists, but I just didn't really connect to what he was trying to do with a lot of the music. So I just want to give my thoughts. The reason Panic! At the Disco is officially breaking up, supposedly, is Pete Wentz did leak that Brendan Urie and Sarah Urie are having a child, which is awesome and makes sense. And it seems like, they're a great age to have a child. And I totally understand when you have millions of dollars and you've made such a legacy to take some time to focus on your child. And I think that's awesome. And I wish them the best, and I really appreciate everything that he's done, and the whole band as a whole with Ryan and Spencer and John. I really appreciate all of them, and even the people that filled in. I appreciate it all. So just wanted to send my love in that regard. I did see Panic! At the Disco once in my life, but it was only during the APMAs. It wasn't like really that much of a show. It was the show where Brendan Urie was drunk and Trey Cyrus was saying some stuff on stage, and then I remember Brendan Urie said, "This one's for you, Trey Cyrus, you piece of shit," and then he played a song. I don't know if I can find the clip, but I did see them in that regard. They only played like 2 songs or so, and they didn't play I don't think any of the old stuff. They played the Bohemian Rhapsody cover or something. I was really young, so I don't fully remember everything, but that was my only time really seeing Panic! At the Disco. Unfortunately, the golden years of Ryan Ross and John Walker and everyone being in the band, I did not get to see. And obviously it's too late for that one. But I have watched a lot of live videos, and it really did shape the artist that I became, and it shaped me as a human. I mean, it really was impactful, and I still, when I go to the airport or whatever, I listen to all the old albums, like, all the way through multiple times, like, dead ass. That's what I do. I even have this little tattoo that my friend did on me for, like, Ryan Ross's eye makeup. It's kind of weird looking, but it's supposed to be kind of like his lines that he does. And even if you look at myself, I do a lot of lines on my face because of Ryan Ross and them as a band. So my thoughts are, Panic! At the Disco's done. Can we get the Young Veins back? Just a question. Can we just let that happen, Ryan? John, can you just, like, you know, maybe drop one album? Just an idea. I mean, he's busy having a kid. Like, just bring back the Young Veins and I'll be happy. Yeah, I think this is honestly a good point for Panic! At the Disco to end. I feel like if they're not gonna have the original members, everyone's kind of wanted this at this point. And I know I've missed the name, and I've always loved the name, and I've always loved what it was, but it's just not that anymore. I mean, Panic! At the Disco hasn't been that, and it's been a solo show. It's been a solo album. It's been something that's, you know, the Brandon Urie project, and that is totally okay, and I understand doing solo music, but using the Panic! At the Disco name just is really holding on to something that used to be something different than it is now. So if Brandon Urie does come back, I assume that he probably will come back under the name Brandon Urie at this point. I don't think he's going to use Panic! At the Disco anymore, not unless by some miracle they all got back together, which would break the fucking internet in the world, but I think it's a little too far gone for that one, unfortunately. But I would die, and I'm here for it, so please consider. And anything's possible. I mean, My Chemical Romance got back together, but let's be real, My Chemical Romance did not have the falling out that Panic! At the Disco did. Either way, I think it's great for them to focus on their child and try to just live happy. So much respect and love to them on that journey that they're going to be doing. And thank you for all the music, and thank you for shaping me as a human being and being the first album I bought and everything like that. And I still listen to a lot of the old stuff quite a bit, and even some of the newer stuff. I would say not really Viva Las Vengeance or Pray for the Wicked, I don't really go back to, but Death of a Bachelor and Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die I'll dabble in, and you know, Vices and Virtues I fucking love, and Pretty Odd I love. I really love their live album. And also, if they could just, before they leave, if they could just put the Chicago show, I think it is, from A Fever You Can't Sweat Out's tour, where they're doing all the fucking crazy makeup and they're doing the Radiohead cover and Smashing Pumpkins cover, when they're really theatrical, and it's probably one of the best performances they've ever done. When they're only like, I think 19 or 20, they're like fetuses in it, but they fucking are so good. If they could just put that on Spotify, you know, as like a goodbye, I'd be more than happy with that. I'm just saying. I mean, that is one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. It's bittersweet, though, to see something like this happen. I remember when Never Shout Never initially broke up, I kind of had the same feeling, because that was like my favorite band and shaped me a lot as well. But now that I'm older and stuff, I understand that things end or things take breaks, you know? Maybe they'll use the word end or hiatus or whatever, but that's just how it goes. Hell, even Might As Well Escape broke up, and you know, now I know what it's like for you guys. Oh my god, it broke up. Yeah, some things just end, and I think this is pretty much one of those situations. I'm not saying Might As Well Escape is Panic! At the Disco, it's definitely not, but it's definitely kind of similar in the sense that it will never be the same, because people don't like each other, and you know, it's not probably gonna happen. It's not gonna probably come back. But anyways, it was very odd to wake up on Tuesday and see all the news about this, but I thought I would talk about it and share my thoughts. I don't know, I think people should just honestly let this guy live his life, even though I know a lot of people are like, he's fucking annoying and all that stuff. I think it's probably best just to let this guy have his kid and live instead of just dogging on him all day, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of a little much at some points when a person's a human, and it's very hard to keep on growing and stuff when people don't allow you to grow, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying that people have to forgive people, but I think not allowing people to move forward and just always reminding them that they did stuff that is not okay is kind of a lot, to be honest. And past that, even a lot of people will just rag on this guy just because they don't like the newer music they made, which I didn't like it either. But I think the idea of just shitting on him until he's fucking feeling horrible or whatever is just quite redundant and brutal, to be honest. Obviously you have to prove that you grow and stuff, but hopefully people let him grow, and he shows that he's grown, and he has a kid and has a nice life, and if he ever gets back into the music scene with solo music, or maybe even bringing back the name, I don't know, whatever he does or they do, any of the members, good luck. Anyways, we got Fall Out Boy again in My Chemical Romance, so, and Paramore, and plenty of other bands, so I think we'll be okay for now. Just wanted to share my thoughts. If you agree, give this video a like. I will see you all very soon, and thanks for listening to me ramble. You don't have to agree with everything I said. That is totally fine. Just sharing my thoughts on my YouTube channel. That's what I do. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay happy, not crappy, love, bitch, don't quit, and peace out, thug pugs. Bye.